So in the last devlog, I said
COPCORE is a first-person physics-based cop simulator.
And it turned out that I lied. To get the full story, we need to go a few years back. Before Dice Guy and COPCORE, I was working on a game that I called Evo. In this game, you started on a randomly generated voxel-based planet as a monkey, and you had to gather resources, craft various machines that would eventually allow you to launch a rocket into space. It is pretty much a 3D Factorio, only difference is you evolved from a monkey into a human and progressed from the Stone Age to the modern age. And the enemies were not aliens, but literal trash that spawned from all of the toxic waste byproducts of crafting. I have a lot of interesting footage of this game that I have never shared, so let me give some developer commentary on what you're seeing right now. Here you can see the world procedurally generating in real time. The world currently has 4 biomes: desert, woodland, swamp, and a snow biome. I was inspired by Valheim to add a similar leveling system where every action you make gives you specific experience points. For example, jumping increases your jump skill and so on. I really like how the game looks and feels, but I have not released this game yet because I couldn't really figure out what to do with the gameplay. So I decided to make a small game to take a short break and give my brain time to come up with something. That small game looked like this at April of 2022. The top-down perspective to me felt a bit too much like a mobile game, so I started experimenting with the first-person perspective, and I really like how smooth it felt. So I continued expanding the game for a few months. This period of development solidified the art style of the game, but it still felt a bit too much like Counter-Strike clone to me. So then I started experimenting with physics-blended animations, and at this point the game absolutely clicked for me. At this stage I also experimented with making the game third person, but I couldn't really figure out a good way of implementing this. So I stuck with the first person perspective and continued the development until the game just started feeling wrong to me.
This is all wrong.
Since the first person perspective barely shows how the player character interacts with the NPCs, and the game being physics based, the physics interactions are a huge part. You want to see how your character flops, jumps, slides and wobbles. So at this stage I said f*** it and remade the player character to be third person. By my calculations, the game going from first to third person became 200% more person-year and infinitely more fun. This opened up a whole new world of possibilities in my mind. The first image in my mind was of the player character riding a bike and chasing criminals. I think we can all agree that bicycle cops are hilarious. The bicycle turned out amazing, as you can see. Of course, this is a legit cop simulator game, so you need to use your vehicles to transport criminals. But how can you do that on a bicycle? Simple, you just attach a seat. The game being an RPG of sorts, it needed to have a progression of items and equipment the player acquires. So next I added a more advanced mode of transport: a motorcycle. The game map initially was supposed to be similar to the Mount and Blade games, with a top-down view map that the player navigates, and all of the real-time gameplay happens in a separate instanced map. But after I added the bicycle and motorcycle, the map instances felt a bit too small, so I made the decision to make COPCORE an open world game. Being a solo developer with limited resources, I wanted to make this game as simple to make as possible from the start. But as always, plans never work out the way we imagine, and that's almost always a good thing. COPCORE is getting really close to release on Steam, so if you'd like to support what I do, the absolute best way is to wishlist COPCORE on Steam, link is in the description. Also, let me know if you like the current style of my devlogs, or should I dive more deeply into the development process and technical details. I personally think that the details are a bit boring, so I try to only include fun or interesting parts in my videos, but I'm interested what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. That's it for now, thanks for watching.